Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Melissa Andre. I'm the Executive Director of the Philadelphia Tax Review Board. Today is Tuesday, December 5th of 2023, and we are doing the tax category water revenue and water department. Please be aware that this is a public hearing and it is being recorded. Because the meeting is public, participants and viewers have no expectation of privacy, and by continuing to be in this meeting, you are consenting to being recorded. With me today is our board chair, Nancy Callan, aka Nancy Cameradiner.
I keep forgetting to change my name on there.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No problem. As well as board members Dominique Ward and Paula Weiss. We are being, again, recorded. So at this time, I'm going to hand control of the board hearing to our chair, Nancy. Nancy?
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. We don't have everyone here yet for the hearing, but I think we're starting is with number one.
That is correct. We're going to do case number one first.
Okay. I just wanted to be doubly sure here. And case number one is with Sim Yong Hwan and Ji Kwan. Last four digits of the docket 9989. Property address here is 35 South 10th Street. Who do we have in the room representing the petitioner?
The petitioner is not present today. Ms. Gonzalez can explain why.
Yes, the petitioner and I have come to a agreement in principle, and we are asking for a brief continuance to paper up the agreement.
Oh, okay. I knew that was in the offing, but I didn't realize that you were the one who was going to be presenting to us at this point. I thought someone was going to be there representing the petitioner in the office. Do you have any other information that we should be aware of before we would agree to the continuance?
No, not about this case.
Okay.
Ms. Gonzalez, do you have a time recommendation?
I plan to convey them the agreement by the end of the week, so 30 days.
That sounds reasonable, and if you would keep the petitioner informed that once that agreement's reached, they should be contacting us to formally indicate that the matter's been resolved and they are withdrawing the matter from this board.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. If our board members could indicate that they concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur.
Dominique Ward, I concur.
And Nancy Cameradiner, I concur. So we look forward to hearing that this matter has been totally resolved and signed off, and I look forward to hearing the references from the city and the petitioner. Thank you very much, Ms. Gonzalez. Is anyone here for case number 2?
And 3, Nancy. It's 2 and 3.
We're going to 3 next. Okay, my apologies. I thought we were switching around.
It's the same petitioner, 2 and 3.
Right, but I think we're going to case 4. Is it?
No, Nancy, we're doing case 2 and 3. They're the same person, same address.
I keep missing parts of it. It's maybe it's a combination of my ears and maybe it's my computer sound system, but I have trouble getting all of the pieces here. My apologies, and I hope that I can clear that up a bit. Then I guess the petitioner is Charmaine Prater.
Hi, due to safety reasons, and this is a public hearing, I need to be referred to as OVA 467, since this is a public hearing.
Okay, but first I'm going to ask you when you are speaking to speak into the microphone, and right now I'd just like you to identify yourself for the record.
So the record OVA 467.
I don't know if everyone else got your name, but I sure did.
Sorry. No, ma'am. The court reporter did not get that name.
OVA/467. That's a pseudonym because of safety reasons.
So you're not giving your name?
So since this is a public hearing.
Okay. Okay. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth with everything that comes before the board?
I affirm.
Okay, thank you. Who has this matter for the city?
Good afternoon, Adriana Gonzalez on behalf of the city.
Do you have anyone with you who needs to be identified and sworn?
Yes, Miss Miriam Scully and Miss Chanel Smith.
Okay, if they could, one by one, identify themselves for the record, please.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Miriam Scully. I'm sorry I have a sore throat right now, but I represent TAP.
Okay, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth with everything that comes before the board?
Yes, I do.
Okay, fine, thank you. Who is the other person from the city who is going to be testifying? If you could identify yourself for the record, please.
It's Miss Chanel Smith, but I believe it says that she's connecting to audio. She may be having connectivity issues.
Excuse
Yeah, I
me,
see the same thing.
excuse me, I hate to interrupt, but could y'all please spell your name, because I have a hearing disorder and I mean.
And if you're not close to the mic, please do get closer to it so that we can hear you more distinctly as well.
I'm close to the mic. Can you hear me better?
A little better, but it's really not very full and complete. I don't know whether there's an issue with the.
Louder, but don't think I'm yelling at you guys, because
I'm thinking that there may be something with the microphone, because others seem to be kind of holding back and thinking that they're having trouble, not just me.
So could you guys, please, with all due respect, spell your first and last name, because I have a hearing impairment.
Oh, okay. My name is Miriam. It's Miriam. Last name Scully, SCULLY. And I'm with TAP Water Revenue.
Thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
I did swear you in already, correct?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Who is the other person from the city who needs to be identified?
Miss Chanel Smith.
Can you please spell your name?
S as in Sam, H, E as in elephant, N as in Nancy, E as in elephant, I as in igloo, L as in love, last name Smith.
Thank you.
You're
Do you
welcome.
swear or affirm to tell the truth with everything that comes before the board?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. Does the city have any opening comments before we turn to the petitioner?
I'm sorry, I'm just gonna interrupt. I'm sorry. Nancy, you did not read the numbers into not the
Oh,
numbers, but
okay.
the docket numbers into the record for the stenographers.
Okay,
Address.
and this for the petitioner.
Correct.
So the docket numbers for the petitioner are 9367 and 9618. I thought I had done that before. My apologies. So then turning to the city, who is going to have the numbers for the record for us?
I
If Miss
am.
Smith could please
Okay,
give us the account balance.
The water customer is disputing the periods of February 5th, 2018 through November 16, 2023. Or current, the principal amount is $1,957.66. The penalty amount is $149.51. The lien amount is $197.90, bringing the total dispute amount to $2,305.07.
Okay, thank you. Does the city have any opening comments?
No, the city would like to hear from the petitioner.
Yes, first of all, I'm requesting a continuance due to several reasons. I am a college student and I am in the middle of my finals. I am not prepared to move forward. I'm gonna need an attorney because it's not being acknowledged that I'm disabled. Okay, just like just now, I was trying to document the numbers and I said, excuse me, y'all moving forward. Okay, it's a possible conflict of interest with Miss Nancy. And I requested a subpoena several times to no avail. I have left messages for Ms. Gonzalez, never received a phone call back. And there was an attorney involved when the TAP agreement happened. I was left out the loop, and there was a conflict of interest with that attorney from CLS, and that is ineffective counsel and a possible ethics violation. I am respectfully requesting the continuance. I had already informed people here, not the board, because I don't get in touch with you guys, okay, that I have other obligations that's equally important, and colleges most definitely, and especially finals, are important. Okay, so I'm respectfully requesting a continuance, and I'm respectfully requesting that Ms. Gonzalez return my call, because we probably can work through this. Okay, but other than that, I cannot move forward without an attorney, because I have disabilities, and under the Disability Act, Americans with Disability, I'm requesting reasonable accommodations. Okay, and at this point, that's not happening. So I respectfully request a continuance.
Okay, so I have a quick question. You said you had an attorney previously when you negotiated the TAP agreement.
You identify yourself? Who is speaking?
Dominique Ward, tax review board member.
You said so. And you spell your name Dominique?
Dominique, last name Ward, WARD.
Now your first name, because you went out.
Sure. Dominique, DOMINIQUE. So you said you had counsel initially when you were working on the TAP agreement.
I went to Community Legal Services, and
Okay,
they got in touch with the Water Department, Water Revenue Department, in which there were extenuating circumstances, including the fact that I'm a victim of DV and have been under protection orders. I've been violated, and a lot was going on. So I should have been able to meet with city officials, and also another thing, I requested audits on the water account, because there were settlements made and payments was made from settlement companies to clear the water debt. That was never applied to the account. Okay, so I requested in writing several times an audit on this account, on the water account, and never paid it. And no matter what I do, go to the city, and request to speak to whoever's over water revenue, the accounting department. I'm told that I have to write letters or send an email. I've done all of that to no avail.
okay. So yes, you were represented by counsel when you negotiated the TAP agreement.
I went to them, not for them to negotiate the TAP agreement. I went to them because of the fact that the revenues that's reflecting is incorrect. Okay, and they contacted y'all. You from the water, right? You from the city, correct?
She's a board member.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, they contacted the city, okay, and behind my back, without my knowledge, okay, decided to enter into an agreement for the TAP, which I made it clear that I had TAP, and I completed TAP. Okay, I paid when I was supposed to pay, and it should have been over with. Okay, none of that went on, okay, between the attorney and the city representative in reference to what I went to CLS for was the incorrect water bill. And I did explain it that TAP should have been over, because
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. So this is where we're kind of losing. I'm getting a little confused. You went to CLS to deal with a separate issue. Understood. However, for some reason, your TAP matter was negotiated at that time.
yes,
Okay. Did you sign an agreement at that time pertaining to TAP?
I signed an agreement to be seen by CLS, okay, in reference to water.
Okay, so 1 second. City, Ms. Gonzalez, do you have an agreement that is a TAP agreement signed by the petitioner? I don't want to butcher this. It's OVA 467. Is that correct?
So I believe so, but also the CLS attorney contacted us about a denied application.
Okay.
And that was denied because we were not provided with residency information for many of the reasons that the petitioner states throughout this hearing. And at that point asked us if there was another way we could allow her to be on TAP without providing that information that she felt was sensitive.
Okay.
We said yes, and then allow her to be back in TAP. That was how it was framed to me, and how we approved that CLS provided us with a letter affirming or attesting that she did live at the property indicated in her TAP application, and that she did request that this letter to serve as residency proof.
So
And
Tap,
When was that?
if you'll give me one moment to search my email, I believe that was in March of this year.
So that's March 2023, you suspect? You're
Yes.
Okay. Petitioner, OVA 467. Are you aware of these events that happened in March of 2023?
I want to make sure everybody understands that I request a continuance, okay? And
I
no,
understand that, but we're
I
trying
did
to
not
make
authorize- I didn't authorize-
we're trying to make a determination on whether we can grant your continuance and what it's going to look like. So that's why I'm trying to understand what happens, because quite frankly, the fact that you came here today and you requested a continuance untimely and the city does not seem to be aware of the continuance, in normal circumstances, you would not be granted the continuance. So you have made a compelling argument, and we're trying to make a determination of whether we can meet you, what we can do to try to meet you halfway on this. So just give me a moment. I'm just trying to understand what happened here.
Okay. Now, what was your question? I'm sorry.
So in March of 2023, is that the timeline where you're saying you had this TAP agreement and it was not
No.
what you wanted? Okay.
No. There was a TAP agreement in place for approximately 2 years, and I paid on time. Okay, but they had they didn't finalize it as though I paid on time. They made it seem like I never had TAP. That's why I need to continue, because I have documentation. The city made it seem like I never had TAP before. Okay, and the payments that I did pay, they act like they didn't receive them. This is why I need a continuance. And I explained, that's why I went to CLS, because of the fact that they're not acknowledging the payments, okay? And the fact that I complied, and they keep doing this to me over and over again. Even when settlement companies paid the city, the money went somewhere else. When I got case money and paid them in lump sums, the money went somewhere else. This is why I continuously ask to have an audit, because this is not fair. I'm not rich, okay? I pay what I owe. But no, you can't keep doing this, because I don't have.
Is there an attorney that you've identified to represent you for this matter?
Right now? I don't have an attorney right now. But
Okay.
I'm bringing an attorney, but like I said, I'm in the middle of my finals. I know this is not your issue, but I'm sure y'all seem like educated women. Y'all should understand that this is finals, and I'm requesting that y'all respectfully understand I'm in the middle of finals, okay? And what I'm taking up, it takes a lot of concentration and studying. I need this cleared, because it's wrong that you're forcing me to pay. But no, I don't have an attorney, but I plan on.
Okay. So here's the thing. You just said previously at the beginning of this hearing that you want a continuance in order to get an attorney. And so this is why I'm trying to make an understanding of whether you have an attorney in mind that you're targeting, because what is going to end up happening if we grant this continuance is that if we come back here again and you don't have an attorney, this is proceeding forward regardless. This is going to be must be tried. So I'm trying to understand where you're at in your search, because this is not something that's going to be kicked a year to be rescheduled either. So I see you have your hand raised.
Yeah, I'm requesting subpoenas because I need the information. Okay, I'm not rich. I don't have money to pay an attorney to do all this research, and they're going to charge according to what they're going to have to do. A lot of this stuff can be done by the city complying with the request. So what I'm requesting is, because if I do get an attorney, I know how to do research. I know how to look through, I know how to, I went to school for accounting. I know how to do all of that. Okay, but they're got my hands tied. So what I respectfully requested for the board is a subpoenas to the city so they can release the financial records, okay, as well as the continuance, okay? Because even and I'm not saying I'm not going to get an attorney, okay? My intention is to get an attorney, okay? But I'm not going to get an attorney for them to charge me up for something I can do myself, which can easily be done with the city communicating with me, which they refused to do so. Ms. Gonzalez never called me back. Okay, so I'm respectfully requesting that the continuance not only be granted for the purpose of getting an attorney, is to be able to receive the documents from the city for the payments and the billing, okay, as well as attempting to try to communicate with Ms. Gonzalez with her responding back to me, or whoever in the city who can actually try to work with me.
Okay.
Because we've, if I
Can
could
we hear
just-
from the city? Yeah, let's go back to
I,
I'd like
I,
before Ms. Gonzalez speaks, I'm sorry, and I do want to hear from you, Ms.
Sure.
Gonzalez. Ms. Andre, could you just read for us the procedural history so we have an understanding of how we got here for the
Absolutely.
tax review board?
Please, just bear with me because it's a bit of a, it's long. And I want to make sure I say it all correctly. Okay, so in docket of 35 TP MERZV 9618, this petition was a,
Excuse me, can you speak louder, because I'm trying to document this, so what is the docket number?
sure, it's the TAP docket number 35
Mhm.
TP MERZZ 9926. This petition was originally filed in March of 2022. It regarded in the denial of her TAP application, the petitioner's TAP application. It was scheduled for a hearing on October 31st of 2022. And at that hearing, the petitioner failed to appear. The letter was mailed out, and then a letter for rehearing was submitted, and the board approved it.
Excuse
And-
me. Wait,
yes.
You said it was mailed out when I don't get mail, could you, I mean, cause I don't get any mail.
Okay, she's gonna read what's in our file.
Okay, but it's incorrect, okay, go ahead.
According to our records, this is what occurred in the hearings. Then I believe,
The rehearing request?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
I'm sorry, the date for the rehearing request or the rehearing?
The date for the rehearing occurred on March 30th of 2023, in addition to a new petition that was filed. We granted that petition because the petitioner explained the address situation, which is why we granted the rehearing. This case was then scheduled in July. Hold on, I'm gonna get that date specifically. It was scheduled on July 25th of 2023. And at that time, petitioner requested a continuance to hire counsel. It is now scheduled today. And these two cases have been put together, except the docket 35WR MER ZV 9367. That petition was filed. I'm sorry. I believe that petition was also filed on March 30th of 2023. She came in the same day to file them both. And then they were both scheduled in July as well.
So at the last hearing where she said she was going to get an attorney and she did not get an attorney, did she bring up the subpoena issue at that point?
Not to my knowledge.
I most definitely did request a subpoena from the very beginning, because that is the issue. The issue is the city will not release the records. And as far as the water, the tap and the water was not combined at once at the beginning. It wasn't. It was combined later on.
That's what I said, ma'am. I said that you file your TAP petition first, and then when you came in to refile your TAP petition, that's when you filed your water revenue petition. Because I said you filed this already, and you actually pointed it out to me that you were filing about the amount from the water revenue, the amount you were disputing, not just the TAP. And that's why I combined them, because it's the same address. And the issues are combined. That's why in July they were listed together, just as they are listed together today.
And I had also requested subpoenas to serve on the city.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to the city. Ms. Gonzalez wants to respond to you and to explain to us the city's posture.
If there are messages from Miss Prater, I'm very, it's unfortunate that she seems to be not calling the office line that is keyed to my phone number, because I have not received any sort of messages from her. The city has created a wonderful system where our voicemails are sent directly to our inboxes, and I have not received a voicemail from Miss Prater in the time since the last hearing in July. It was my understanding that she had retained an attorney, Mr. Bart Levy, who, when I reached out for information pertaining to to the petitioner's dispute and understanding the full nature of it, did not respond and say that he had not been retained by Ms. Prater. And in fact, I believe she represented at the last hearing that she intended to hire Mr. Levy, and his name is now listed on the docket for at least one of these matters. Additionally, I have just emailed the board and Ms. Andre an account history statement for Ms. Prater, for the petitioner, dating back to as early as the city's records have retained, which is approximately 2004, 2003. 2003. If there is additional information, if I were given a list of what it was, I would be happy to provide it. But also, I don't know that the board has subpoena power. So I would probably object. You do. Okay. Just making sure. But again, if there were any requests that were made, I do my best to respond to them. I have not received any. I have not received any direct communication from the petitioner or the counsel that she represented that she had after the previous hearing. I understand that this particular time of year is difficult for students. I'm fully appreciative of that. Though it has been a number of months since the last time that the petitioner was granted a continuance to find counsel. And at that time, it seemed as though counsel had been secured.
I object because the board should have been made aware that there was a conflict of interest with that attorney whose name is on there. And I was told he was no longer listed as my attorney.
He is not. He is not. He's not on the sheet.
All right, thank you. And therefore, it shows that I did make attempt to retrieve non-conflicting counsel. Okay, and I most definitely did reach out to you, Ms. Gonzalez, and my phone records will show it. Okay, this is why I really respectfully request a continuance, and I can prove that I did reach out to Ms. Gonzalez. Okay,
It seems to me that Ms. Gonzalez, if you have nothing else, and we have heard you, petitioner, that the board needs to deliberate now on this question of the continuance request.
I'm sorry, may I have your name?
Paula Weiss, W-E-I-S-S. And the board needs to, I think, have a chance to discuss this.
And I have one more thing to say. Ms. Paula Weiss, you were the person who was previously in Ms. Andre's position, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I want to make it a record. There's a conflict of interest with Ms. Weiss. Okay. And that all matters. So I need that as a record. I have a right to a fair hearing. This will not be perceived as a fair hearing if y'all move forward because of conflict of interest with Ms. Weiss, Ms. Nancy, as well as the fact that I did definitely, request subpoenas, timely, in advance, as a matter of fact, because the city would not respond to me, and this is what, and I can prove it. There are reports, there are actually reports from at the Municipal Services Building because of denial of services, which anyone who owns a property in Philadelphia, you have a council, the Municipal Services Building, have a right to be in that building, to receive service, and this is ongoing, and I can prove it. So I respectfully request a continuance, and I'm a businesswoman just like y'all are, I don't have time for games, and I did reach out to Ms. Gonzalez, so I'm respectfully requesting a continuance. And I also provided information on when my classes end for this semester, which is the 16th of this month. So even if it's right after the 16th, I respectfully request a continuance. And with the fact that I can get the documents from the city for the finances.
Can you be a little bit more clear about why you were requesting Miss Board members, Miss?
Yeah, I'm confused by Miss Callan. Yeah, what exactly?
Ms. Weiss is aware of the fact that there has been always a conflict between her and myself when she was.
I've never had any interaction with you.
Excuse me, you're not Ms. Weiss, right? You're Nancy, correct?
That is correct. That is our board chair, Miss Nancy Cameron.
I'm talking about Paula Weiss. I'm talking about Ms. Paula White, she is aware of the fact that her and I have had conflicts, okay, and it's on record. Okay, exclude Ms. Nancy, because I got Ms. Nancy mixed up with Paula Weiss. It's not, Ms. Nancy. I apologize, Ms. Nancy, but it is Paula Weiss. Okay, and there is a major conflict of interest with Ms. Weiss, and it's on record. It is.
This record?
What you mean?
It's not on this
Before
record.
before you came. She's aware of what I'm talking about.
Okay, can we step back to deliberate then? At
Okay.
this point?
If everyone just hold tight, please. I'm just waiting for Nancy and Paula to come back. Main session. Okay, everyone is back.
Okay, um, let's see, Dominique, are you taking this one for us?
Sure. Okay, the board
Yes,
has,
I think everybody's back.
everybody's back? Okay. The board has deliberated in the back, and based on our conferral, we've come up with the following order. This, just to keep the record clean and succinct based on the fact that we've merged two cases, we'd like to point out this is the third continuance that has been requested by the petitioner. There have been no continuances requested by the city. This is the second continuance that's been requested by the petitioner to retain counsel. The city has made note that counsel was retained and then subsequently conflicted out. So ultimately, petitioner is back again today requesting more time to request counsel. And this is the first continuance requested by the petitioner in order to obtain documents. So in an effort to tidy this up and to ensure that we have a full and fair hearing to the petitioner, we will grant a final continuance request to this matter for a date certain that will be in February of 2024. Executive Director Melissa Andre will provide that date shortly. Now, with this date certain, there are a couple of things that are going to happen. The city council, Ms. Gonzalez, or a representative from her office, will provide the documentation that has been requested by the petitioner. Due to the protection order for the petitioner, these documents will be passed through Executive Director Melissa Andre, as all correspondence has been going through her to the petitioner in order to ensure receipt. Petitioner will confirm receipt upon receipt, and those will be the documents for the hearing. Ms. Andre will confirm with the city that all documents have been received, and we'll proceed forward from there. If you do not have counsel, petitioner, at the next hearing, the hearing is going to proceed forward, regardless of whatever reasonable accommodations or whatever you may need at that point. If you do not have counsel, the hearing is still going to happen. It is not going to be a violation of your due process or anything of the sort, because ultimately, this is your day in court, and the city has had their two witnesses come here today in preparation for a full hearing, and you asked for a continuance when you had the date well in advance of knowing when your finals were going to be. So we take note of that. And ultimately, we would like this hearing in this matter to get resolved as soon as possible. So with that being said, what date do you have for the petitioner, Ms. Andre?
Hold on, wait a minute, I have a hearings in February, wait a minute, at other courthouses, can I look through my phone, and so there's no conflicting date?
Yeah, we're going to give you a date right now, and you're going to let us
I
know.
want to make sure that it's not a date where I already have a hearing, that's what I
So
just.
if you let me finish talking, we're going to give you a date right now. You're going to let us know if that date works. If that date does not work, then we will get another date. So
Okay.
Ms. Andre, what is the first date that you have available for the petitioner?
February 27th.
Petitioner.
Hold on, I have to look, I wouldn't know, okay, hold on a minute. I have family court matters and the judge keep changing the date, so let me check. What day is that on?
It's on a Tuesday. The board only meets on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
And we meet at 2 o'clock.
Okay. What is another date you have, other than the 27th?
Ms. Andre, do you have another date available in February?
No. I
What
have
about
March 5th.
March 5th?
Okay, March 5th.
Petitioner, does March 5th work for your calendar?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. So on the record, the date certain is going to be March 5th, 2024. Again, I'm going to reiterate, whether you have counsel or not, the hearing is still going to proceed forward on March 24th. Ms. Andre will provide you with the documentations that you requested today or that you have requested multiple times from the city to no avail. I don't know what happened with that, but we're going to make sure you have your stuff and you have the materials you need in front of you to have a fair hearing.
Thank you.
Ms. Gonzalez, if anything happens in the interim where you have additional documents you want to provide, again, please contact Ms. Andre so that way she can contact the petitioner, and vice versa. Petitioner, if you need supplemental documents, please contact Ms. Andre in adequate time in preparation for your March, was it 4th or 5th?
5th.
March 5th hearing date, okay?
Okay.
Go ahead, Ms. Gonzalez.
Yes, can I just request that there be like an end date for the request of documents so that I have sufficient time to gather everything? Say maybe February 15th.
Okay, do you feel like less than a month in advance is enough time for you? I would say February 5th is a reasonable request.
Yes, I was expecting more pushback.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
So February 5th is the final date that you need
Hold
to.
up, hold up.
Mhm.
Is it any way, because I had Miss Paula Weiss, and I didn't have it available when we was talking before. Miss Paula Weiss is aware, and I have it in my phone, is aware of these requests. So the information should already be gathered. So can we do like the end of January?
Okay, so let's do this.
Well,
But
let's
wait. Hold on 1 second. Paul, I'm gonna give you an opportunity.
Hey, Paula Murphy
Hold on.
from the city. You know who
Okay.
Paula Murphy is, right?
Regardless of whether we know who Paula Murphy is or not,
I was talking
today
to
is
Ms.
the first day that we're gonna that we've heard about these requests. So we're gonna start fresh. We want a clean slate. I would suggest, in an effort to ensure that you have all the materials you need, you resend that request to Miss Andre, and Miss Andre subsequently can get that over to Miss Gonzalez, and you can get the documents you need. I don't want there to be any confusion about what documents you need and which documents you actually receive. So I would suggest that you just send that request to Miss Andre, and that way she can get you the documents from Miss Gonzalez.
And I do want to step in here, Ms. Ward. This is Paula Weiss, Tax Review Board member, and I just want, so that there's no confusion, it to be clear that I have no prior knowledge or involvement in these cases. So I have no document request, I have no prior notice, and I have no information regarding them.
I corrected that, ma'am. I said Paula Murphy, and she was.
I understand. I just want it to be clear.
That was my error, okay? This is the proof right here. See, I don't know if y'all can see that. So,
We can't see that, Miss Petitioner. Can you just send that to me? I will send it over to Miss Gonzalez, and she will try to get as much, or she will comply with what you've
I'm
requested.
gonna need time. I'm visually disabled as well as I have hearing disabilities, okay? And I'm doing this research myself. Okay, an attorney gonna come and present the information, so I'm requesting that a deadline is in January.
The deadline is February 5th, ma'am, 2024.
I don't understand what the issue is. We're
Yeah,
giving
February
time to get-
5th, 2024 is the deadline to submit all requests.
Okay, y'all wouldn't understand because y'all not me. I have disability. So, I mean, and I'm requesting that anything that's being printed be printed in a font of 18 to 20 so I can be able to see it.
as currently it's on closed captioning. I don't know how to do that on Zoom, but I'll figure it out by the time the next hearing comes around.
I'm talking about as far as the documents that I'm supposed to receive through you, right? I'm supposed to contact you to get documents from Ms. Gonzalez, correct?
Those documents will be emailed to you, and
No, you can't email me anything. I have to pick it up. You can't email me that because my device do not accept that type of bulk emailing, and I don't even have any more space. Okay, so I wouldn't.
Okay,
But that's
so
your phone.
hold on, wait, let's take a step back.
Oh,
Petitioner, the things that you're requesting were things that should have been shared up front, but ultimately you're saying that the documents need to be printed out for you and you need to be able to pick them up. I think that's what I'm hearing, Ms. Andre. So I think that's something that can be worked out again via email as you try to figure out the logistics, but ultimately the city's obligation is going to be to just provide the documents, and then how you receive them, you need to work that out. Okay.
I'm objecting to that because I'm disabled, and once again, I need to be able to. What's the point of providing me anything if I can't see it? There is no point in it. So I'm requesting under the ADA American with Disability Act reasonable accommodation, and I need the information to be printed in the font size of 18 to 20 so I can be able to.
Okay.
I'm requesting reasonable accommodation.
Okay, so again, I think you are not hearing what I'm saying because you're talking past me. I'm communicating that the city is going to provide the documentation to Miss Andre. Ultimately, you and Miss Andre will figure out how that needs to be handled, logistics for printing or anything of the sort, because ultimately the city's obligation ceases at providing the documentation in this way. You're saying that the only way you can receive documents, you don't have an address and you don't want us to have that put out there. That's fine. But the only way materials are being given to you or furnished to you are through Miss Andre. So I think you need to figure that out logistically on that front of how to receive them.
Are you saying, ma'am, that the city is not obligated to provide me reasonable accommodation?
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that the city is going to provide the documentation through Miss Andre, because ultimately you have made it clear that the city is not, that you're not going to give your address and that the city is not able to contact you in any other way. We're trying to work with the framework that you've given us, petitioner. That's all.
I never said the city cannot contact me any other way. I left my phone number on Ms. Gonzalez voicemail. Okay, I left the phone number. I never said there was no other way to contact me.
All right. Well, you know what? Let me just say this. How do you want to receive the documentation? Let me just ask you that.
Okay, what I need,
Can you speak a little bit closer to the microphone?
Let's speak closer to the microphone.
What I need, so I can have enough time to, because it's a lot of documents. I need enough time, and to be quite honest with you, February 5th is not going to be enough time. That's why I'm asking for a January date. I've already previously requested this here, as well as directly to the city, and I have proof in my phone. Okay, I would respectfully request that Ms. Gonzalez contact me. I will call her again or email her if I can have her email address so we can both have proof, okay, that there was correspondence or there wasn't correspondence. That way, there is not, Ms. Andre is very busy. I already know that. She's very busy. She's dealing with a whole lot of other cases. Okay, but it's my responsibility, like you said, okay, because I filed this petition that I ascertain certain information. Okay, so I think it'd be more reasonable that Ms. Gonzalez and I communicate, and if there isn't an issue, that I reach out to Ms. Andre, okay, to assist instead of having everything put on Ms. Andre, me waiting for Ms. Andre to receive information, because I do have other information I could provide to Ms. Gonzalez to speed up the process, and she worked for the city. Ms. Andre don't work for the city, and she don't work in that department with the other Paula Murphy. I said it right this time. Paula Murphy works for the city, and she is allegedly the one who is supposed to provide that information. Okay, Ms. Andre don't have that time to sit there and go through the process I already went through. I'm almost there. Okay, but you know, a ball got dropped. That's all.
Well, my concern, and I'm not with you, excuse me, let me take that back. My concern with the testimony you gave earlier in this hearing is that you have been contacting the city and you weren't getting a response. So I'm just trying to work out a way that allows you to get the materials you're requesting in a timely manner before your hearing, so that the next time you come here, you're not feeling like that you're not getting your due process and that you're not getting a fair trial. That's very concerning to me that you opened the hearing with saying that. So I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to meet you to get you what you need. And so from what I'm hearing from you is that I feel like Ms. Andre sends you the notices via email. That's why I was saying it might be easy to work through that. But if you're telling me that you want to contact Ms. Gonzalez directly, that's fine. But I would just say CC Ms. Andre on the correspondence. She may not need to be the person that's driving the bus, but ultimately she should be aware of it, because based on the representations you made at the beginning of this hearing, that you were not getting a response from the city. That's all I'm saying.
And from the testimony that I wasn't aware of, someone on this panel said that there's an attorney of record, and that plays a big part in why I would not receive a response. Okay, if there's an attorney of record, by law, they're not supposed to contact me. They're supposed to contact the attorney. So that was a testimony. I forgot who just testified to that. So I'm taking that in consideration of probably why I'm not getting a response. But Ms. Gonzalez, I really did reach out to you. Okay, I don't know what happened, and I left a voicemail for you to call me back. I could provide my email address as well as my phone number again. Okay, and then we can move forward, because I do have enough information that would help you out to finish, actually, to finish the process. Because this is not the first time I've been asked for subpoenas ever since last year.
Okay, so that's what we'll do then.
Back for a moment. It sounds like the petitioner has with her the list of information that she's requesting. Is that correct?
I have the name of the person who received
Not
it.
the name of the person. Do you have the information, the
I have
list
the
of
name.
information that you're asking for?
I don't have that in front of me. I'm coming from school, but I have the name of the person who already had the information of what I requested.
So
Okay.
that's what I was saying. Okay. So what we'll do is this. Ms. Gonzalez, can I get you on the record? You have an email address, a phone number. Miss Andre has that. She will give that to the petitioner. She will email that to the petitioner. And ultimately, petitioner has said on the record she is not represented by counsel. So you can talk to her directly and provide her the materials directly. Ultimately, petitioner, you are a sophisticated petitioner. So, you know, once you become represented by counsel, you need to let Ms. Gonzalez know so that she ceases any communication with you and that your counsel steps in and at that point drives the bus on litigating your case.
I respect that. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I think we are good to go on our next steps. So continuance is granted with these conditions in place. Ultimately, I think, is everybody on the same page? Perfect. Dominic Ward, I concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur.
Nancy Cameradiner, I concur. So that gives us the full board members who are present today. And so we have an agreement here in terms of how this will be handled going forward. And I know we all look forward to having everything come together in time for the hearing on March 5th.
Yes. Thank you.
And I think that covers everything we need to deal with today.
No,
And
it does
No,
not.
we have another
We
case.
have one more case.
oh, no, I meant for this
for this
matter.
matter?
I'm
Yes.
sorry. I stated that much too broadly.
Oh, I'm free to leave now? It's
Yes,
over?
you are. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You have a blessed one.
Okay, it is approximately 3:03 p.m. There is no one in our waiting room and there is no one here at 100 South Broad Street in regards to the address 6931 North 19th Street. Nancy?
And this is Veronica White, last four digits of the docket 9416. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. What is the situation on this? Is this the first or the third time or whatever that for this matter to come before us?
This is the first hearing from their appeal of the department level case.
Okay. With that in mind, we should
Does the
deny
city have
this
anything
as.
1 second, Nancy. Does the city have anything to add to this matter?
No,
Oh,
No,
I'm
no.
sorry.
nothing else.
So you have nothing to add, any status information or anything that you wish to put on the record?
As far as the procedural history, it's accurate. There have been no requests for continuances that I am aware of.
Have there been any discussions for conclusion or anything like that that you're aware of?
No, I have not been in contact with the petitioner.
Okay. Okay, so then we're basically denying this for failure to appear, and we will see whether we get any return feedback on that. Any comments from the board members?
No, Paula Weiss, I concur.
Dominic Ward, I concur.
And Nancy Cameradiner, I concur. So that means that unless and until we hear anything for a request to reschedule, that this matter will stay on the record as having been denied for failure to appear. Any other matters to come before the board at this time?
No.
I know of none, and it doesn't seem that anyone else has any. And so we thank you very much for your patience today, and look forward to getting together. We have a board meeting on Thursday. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Thank you all for gathering today. Bye now.
Good afternoon.
Bye-bye.